Welcome back again, YouTube. Today we are going to cut a pants. No, that's a difficult topic for a lot of persons. A lot of persons are finding it challenging how to cut a pants, and I'm here to show you how. We need, unlike the skirt, we need more measurements to cut the pants. Our length, our waist, our hip. I take the knee and the ankle. Now this is the full circumference of the knee with some allowance based on how the person prefer it. So there are some persons who want the pants very close, there are some persons who want it tight. But based on your experience, you will know that it can't be too tight because you have to bend the knee. Okay? So we have our length, hip, waist, hip, knee and ankle. Technicality now. The person's hip is 47. The waist is 38. The crutch is very important. The depth of the crutch. Now the waistband of this person is, person wanted to be 1.25. Convention would say that you measure quarter of the hip in order to find the depth of the crutch, the seat of the crutch. But based on experience, you know that that would be too long for a female pants. Good? This is a female pants. Quarter would be like 11 3/4, and no female want to wear that nowadays. So I'm going to make it 10 inch for the crotch. The length of the pants is 43. We have our 43, 2 inch here and 2.5. That's for turn up allowance. Good. How are we going to find the knee of the pants now? Now you can either measure the knee or you can calculate it on this measurement. This is the measurement now. Where the crotch is, the seat of the pant, where this is, to the length, where the length is, that's the middle one, 40 inch measure, 40 inch measure, then where the fold is, which is here, you go up by 2 inch. Now, I've learned this from a very old tailor man and never find any problem with it. It always works. Never find any problem. Now that's where your knee, that's your knee. This is your ankle. Good. So we have our waist, our hip, our knee, and our ankle. The hip of the pants is 47. Now this is a selvage. We don't want that in the pants. Good. We measure an 1/2 inch, and this would be for stitch in allowance. 1/2 inch. The hip of the pants is 47, so which is 11 3/4 of an inch. Good. And we had 1.25 inch out here. Now this is where we're going to have our jig of our curve. How are we going to find this now? This measurement here, from here to here, is 12.25. We carry the same 12.25 here, and we take off 1/2 inch to give it a slant. Good. Good. So you see the difference between that and that. Up here we will go 2 inch. Now look carefully. Good. You notice this line here. We have at least an 1/2 inch here, and we have a nice little curve here. Very important. But we'll find our waist now. The waist is 38, quarter of 38, which is 8.5, and we had an inch. That is 1/2 inch for here, stitching at the side, and 1/2 inch for the zip allowance. We use now our hip curve and we connect this area to that area. Look at me carefully now. we would mark an 1/2 inch here, use this same hip curve and return it to the inside, and we mark a line down or going down. Good. How you find your knee and your ankle in order to complete the shape of the pants. All the way out here we measure to all the way out here, which is 7 inches. So what I will do is normally take off an inch, because 7 is 14 divided by 2, which is 7. I normally take off 1/2 inch and make it 6.5. That's the center of your pants there. Carry the same 6.5 down here, measuring from the selvage. Same 6.5 down here. Good. Then the knee of the pants is 20. We would put a 20 here, 5 here, and 5 here. 20. The ankle of the pants is 18. We will put 4.5 here and 4.5 here. Now, if you notice, the hip was cut in a quarter, the waist cut in quarter of the measurement, but the knee and the ankle is cut in half instead of quarter. Okay, so we have half of 20, which is 10, half of 18, which is 9, and that is how we shape out our pants. Now we use our hip curve now to connect this line to that line, and straight head. Connect that line to that line, that line to that line. Connect that line. And that is the shape of your pants. If you notice, that is how it is shaped. Now, now it is time to cut the back of our pants. We will put 1.5 inches here, the rise, that is where the butt is, and we will put another 1.5 inches at the edge here. We use our hip curve to mark a nice little curve right here. We step away from the front seam, and this 1.5 inches is 1 inch for dart and 1 inch for an 1/2 inch for stitch off at the side here. The waist of our pants is 38, which is 9.5, and this back here I like to put 1.5 inches, but it's your preference. Anything you prefer, you can use 1 inch or 1/2 inch, but for safety, in case of any adjustment, any alterations or anything, you can let it out. So then, so we mark this line here, that's where the back is going to be joined. Mark that line, and that line. Now, 1.5 inches we place right here. This 1.5 inches is very important. This is where we're going to use a stitch off at the side. Another 1.5 inches down here. To find the length of the crutch at the back now, it must be longer than the front. It must be longer than the front to accommodate the bottom. From this line here, the hip line, to this line, we'll find the center. Follow me carefully. The hip is 47. From this center here, we'll measure the 47, which is this. And we end up to having 4 inch here. 4 inch from here to here. Use now your hip curve to connect here. Then we connect here. Okay. mark this line here, give it an half an inch, the same half inch stitch off that you have up here. You take it off at the hip, you measure quarter of the hip again, good, then you had a hinge. So you put a hinge up here, inch and a half up here, and a hinge down here. You use now your straight edge to connect this to this. See, smooth curve we have here. That length, that is for the bottom here. Good. Or we find our dart. Same procedure. We fold our inch measure, find the center of it, and that is where our dart is going to be. Dart is going to be 4 inch down. Half inch on either side, and we have our quick recap. It's very important that I explain it over again, because a lot of person find it a challenge to cut a female pants, especially this long crotch thing and bugger the front and these things. So I just want to make some note for you to be mindful of. At the back here you would see instead of cutting it at the line that I had marked, I cut it away from it. Now this is just for precaution. This is a real person pants, one of my customers, and sometimes might have a challenge with the crotch, might be too tight or something, so I just put this for precaution as an extra for my purpose. So originally the crotch would be 10 inch, good, for the crotch depth. What I normally do is, if the crotch is anything, the crotch is, I take off an inch off it, anything. So therefore, if the crotch was 40, I would take off an inch and make it 9 inch in order to find the depth of the crotch. If the crotch will be 44 or 45, I would take off an inch and a half to make the depth of the crotch come up instead of too long for a lady. Alright, I would also use my curve and still dip the front somewhat in order to take out any pucker or bug or anything that will come at the front. Then I would reshape here. Very important, I will reshape here in order to make it fit even better. Good. I will reshape here. Now you see this line that is here, I want my stitching to come here, to go beyond the line, to take out anything that might linger at the front. Sometimes these ladies are so picky, they don't want anything to be showing like they have penis at the front, so they would want everything to come out. So I'll cut this off, discard that, and this extra line that I have here, I would cut this off also. Good. You put a notch right here. So I just give it a slight peer out some more in order to make it fit perfectly, and that is my secret for making a lady's pants, and it always fit. Pieces for the pants. So now this is the fly piece. This is what going to go at the front. The zip is going to be sewn onto this. We are finished cut our pants, and it's time now to show you the parts that we need. This is the fly piece. This is the J to stitch a J stitch for the female pants, and this is the fold part where the zip is going to be sewn right here. On this side here we would put this for the thing. So thank you very much for joining us as we teach you how to cut a female pants. You can like us on Facebook. Our Facebook page is Selected Fashion House, and where we show you a lot of stuff that we have sewn and done as well. And also you can subscribe, you can share the link with your friends. Thank you very much. See you next time.